And you might be saying, man, that's a stupid step. That's crazy. I am all about that CYA. All right, it's 6:15. Let me show you the most important thing I'm gonna do tonight, and I'll explain it. It is now, this load I booked this morning. I booked this based on what I was seeing, all through last night. Last night was a different night than tonight. Last night at this time, there's probably about 80 loads on the board. Tonight, I'm looking at like 20, maybe 25 loads on the board. Here's the most important thing I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take this screen, now that this load starts at 8:15 tonight, and it's now 6:15, 2 hours before, and I'm gonna swipe this down and screen record, see if it's still there. Okay. The reason that's important, Amazon owes you a TONU if they cancel a load within 2 hours. So now I can prove to them, I don't know if a screenshot would work. You might actually need to do a screen record on this showing that you're refreshing the screen like this. That at least can prove, like if they were to come back to me later and say like, hey, imagine they canceled the load now and they're like, oh, we did it more than 2 hours. I can prove otherwise. Not that they would do that, and I hate to accuse Amazon of stuff, but that's probably the most important thing I'm going to do because, I'll be honest, I'm having a little bit of buyer's remorse over this load. Like last night, the reason I booked this is I wanted a good jump off point for tonight. I'm now looking at the current market conditions, and again, I made this decision based on what I saw last night. I may have gotten this wrong, so I just if I'm gonna go out, I want to be guaranteed that if it is gonna be a dud night, I at least want to be guaranteed that I get the TONU. Why do I have buyer's remorse for booking a $90 a mile load? Probably thinking I'm a prima donna. I made that decision this morning based on what I saw last night. Last night at this time, I was down in this area. There was like 80 loads on the board. Right now, it is 8 o'clock on the screws. I'm gonna screenshot this. There are 9 loads on the board. I don't want to say I messed up, but this is one of those live and learn moments. I'm of course gonna do this one. I'm gonna throw maybe a couple hours at it and just see does anything else drop. I've been paying attention from this all the way from the yard down here, but this is one of those nights where it's the swings of this industry. It's like last night was going off. I made something out of nothing. Last night I had nothing booked. Actually, last night at this time I had nothing booked and managed to string together 5 loads, turned it into a kind of profitable evening. Maybe I could do the same thing tonight. I mean, right now it's up in the air, but from what I'm seeing right now, I might be putting a stop loss on this at 2 hours. If I stay out all night and there's just, the 9 just went, was there 9? I think there was 9 a minute ago. Now there's 8. Maybe there was 8. I don't know. My short-term memory shot, but this is just, I booked this morning when they were dropping all those move the trailer across the streets. They dropped 4 of them. I got 2 of them. I was excited about all this for tonight, and was like, man, that'd be a great way to start my night. Now that I'm in it, it's so this is, I like showing stuff like this because if you plan to do what I do with the load board, now if you're going to do blocks and contracts, that's a totally different ball of wax. But if you're going to do what I do with the load board, there will be nights like this. There will be nights where you get it wrong, and rather than sit there and get all pissed off about it, I just look at it as what can I learn from it? What can I, what can I pull out of tonight that I can use on another night to hopefully not make me repeat this? Ooh, they just dropped another one. I won't be done in time for that one, so it's neither here nor there. But yeah, there will be nights like this. Best thing I can tell you is try to learn from them. You ever turn your truck on and forget what you were listening to, and that Bluetooth kicks in and you didn't realize what volume it was at? And yeah, I'm that guy tonight. I'll get down to some Waylon Jennings, but the problem with me is I get down to everything. So damn embarrassing. What I'm gonna do right now, so I just put this seal on the trailer right here. I put this on over at Sand 3. I'm gonna go check in here at, I believe this is SCA 7. We're gonna go get checked in here. One thing I kind of want to show you on here, I feel like they've kind of set a trap by telling us not to cut these seals. It says on there, I've talked about it in the past, you got to get permission. I want to show you, I'm not saying I'm doing it right, but I want to show you what that sounds like when I ask for it. Now, that presents a couple problems. As soon as I go through this door, there's a huge sign up that says no photography, and I don't want to show you how to not get banned from Amazon while getting banned myself. So I can't film in there, but I'm going to switch over to the audio on my phone just so you can hear what me asking for that sounds like. And hey, you want to make fun of me? Cool. You want to steal any of this and use it as your own? Absolutely. I'm just putting it out there. This is how I ask for permission and kind of get around that whole, I know you've told us not to cut the seals. The people inside this building, I have no doubt that they want me to cut the seals, but I think it's important to kind of cover stuff like this because I see it as like a trap. But I'm getting ready to go through this door right here, even though I could make the stuff inside this door disappear. I'm gonna switch to using the audio on my phone. On the one I'm dropping off, I know they instruct us not to open the seals. I have the tools to do it and can do it. I guess I just need your permission to do it. If you'd like for me to, just let me know.
Yes, sir. Can you open the seal and open the doors for us, please?
And you might be saying, man, that's a stupid step. That's crazy. I am all about that CYA. And I hate accusing Amazon of stuff like that, but it's not my job to agree with it being like a good rule or a bad rule. They have the rule for a reason. I hear people getting banned from Amazon for all different reasons, and the last thing I want is to be at one of these spots and think like, have that complacency kick in. Oh yeah, they always have me open up the back and find out like, oh, this was the one time that, let's say, Loss Prevention's reviewing the tape, and they're like, hey, that Stat Trucking guy didn't he just opened the seal without getting permission first. So I may be a dork. I like working, and I like keep working. Another little thing I'll pass along to you: whenever you're sitting there watching the load board and you see a load, always make those decisions when you're on the outside of a yard. I don't know what the holdup here is, but we've been sitting here for a little bit. I don't have anything booked. Of course, I'm watching the load board. I just finished the one here at Sand 3, but how pissed would I be if I booked one for starts in 15 minutes and now I'm a hostage of this yard? So just something to think about. One of those things where it's like, if they did drop one right now, I'm not going to book it. I'm going to wait till I'm on the other side of that gate. So let me start by saying, tonight is not going to be like last night. What's kept me out so long tonight, it's just now almost 1 o'clock. What's kept me out tonight was, last night was kind of happening. Last night was just going off load after load after load. And I'd caution anybody looking to kind of get into this type of work, as far as doing the local load board, being at the, getting the good from the load board when it's great. But then there's nights like this where the bad comes. It's not necessarily bad. The loads just aren't dropping. The loads just aren't there. The lulls in my night sometimes whoop my butt mentally. I am not as sharp as I was last time I checked in with you. This is just, if I had back and forth going up, if I was going to LA twice tonight, I'd stay sharp all night. I could do it. The problem is I've been laying in bed, watching the news, watching the load board, editing a video, and not exactly, that doesn't necessarily keep me sharp on nights like this. But ended up getting a second load tonight, a little run from, I think it's like Sand 3 going to Dib 5 and then returning. I think it was just over $200. So I might be walking out of my night tonight with like $450, and that's okay. When I'm sitting in the back of that truck doing what I want, yes, I'm at work, but this also doesn't feel like work. It's like, I've never had a job before where I could just sit there and be like, I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to lay in bed and edit this video, watch the news, and pay attention to my phone a little bit. And so, this work suits me so well, just because it's like, I'm not sitting there like jobs in the past where I'm sitting there keeping an eye out at the counter wondering, oh my gosh, does that person want to talk to me? Do they need my help? Do they have a question? All this stuff. It's like, forget all that. I do what I want. It's kind of like my saying, like, I do what I want. And anyway, just, to be able to sit in the back of the truck, edit a video for you guys, and just goof around until I find something. I'm glad I did. Coming out for $200 kind of feels like a fail to me. $450. Definitely not going to retire overnights like this, but I'm having fun doing it. You ever have something that you've experienced before, but it hits different when you're at a different point in your life? I think when The Sopranos came around the first time, Blue's gonna go potty. When The Sopranos came around the first time, I think I was in my late 20s watching that, and when Tony Soprano said,
I'm 46, so that means I'm, what, 35?
It just went totally over my head. But now rewatching it at the age of 47, that hits different. All right, checking in at Dib 5, halfway through the second load. Unless something crazy drops, this will probably be it. I'm hoping one of these trailers is empty, because that's what I'm supposed to take back, but I'm gonna go check in now, get this empty back down to Sand 5. Just left Sand 5. That second load's done. Here you go, boy, Lou. How come you always start talking when I start talking? We are heading home. Calling it quits after these 2 loads. It's 3:48 in the morning. I mean, I got hours of service left, but I just sat too idle for too long. Basically, the deal I made myself is if I get to the 125, I'm about a half mile away and nothing drops, I'm just turning this phone off. Not a real exciting night tonight. I mean, just the 2 simple loads. Am I going to survive making $450 a night? Probably not. But, you know, I mean, pretty local. I don't want to try to justify my bad behavior. It was all in all, it was like $450 on, like, I'm not going to really, I'll break down the numbers, but I mean, it's just the 2 loads. I think it's pretty close to like $450. Loaded miles was like 40 of them. I couldn't drive that much just driving back and forth to the yard. It's like 20 miles home and 20 miles here, so I used about 10 gallons of fuel. But the problem I had is I just sat too idle for too long. So calling it quits. Appreciate you taking the trip with me. Hope this video serves you